but we will be talking about editing your YouTube videos today. And I posted on managingcheek.com the prompt list and the list of sites that you guys could go to edit your YouTube videos. So for those of you who have never seen 31 Days of YouTube before or don't know what it is, my name is Mandy, and I am prompting people to start a YouTube channel in 31 days. So if you go to managingcheek.com, every single day I'll show you my prompt list and give you a description of the prompt along with some videos and helpful resources, free printables, things like that. So head to managingcheek.com. If you're just tuning in, I just woke up from a serious nap, so I'm still like about half asleep, so give me a couple seconds to warm up here. But when I did the blog post for, thank you for the hearts, when I did the blog post for today, and it was like one of the really good naps, you guys, like sleeping really good. I think I could have slept until like tomorrow morning, but it is what it is. On my blog post, I prompted you guys to, thank you for the hearts, to edit the video, to edit the video that I had you guys record yesterday. And again, the reason why I'm having you guys do this a few steps at a time is to keep this from getting very overwhelming. So in my blog post, I did a list of some editing software that you can use for Windows or for Mac. Now, if you're a Windows user, I listed Wondershare, Movie Maker, and Adobe Premiere. Those are the three that I am somewhat familiar with. And Wondershare I have never used, but a couple people who tune into these scopes have said that they are very easy to use. So Wondershare is $19.99 for a 1-year license, or $39.99 for the full license, which means it's basically you're buying the software. I did some of my own research on Wondershare and played around with it online. To me, it is very simple to use. If you've used like Movie Maker and things like that, it's I wouldn't say it's like self-explanatory, but if you're clicking around on it, you can pretty much figure out what you're doing. Windows Movie Maker, in my opinion, is something that is on, I think, all Windows products. It's very easy to use, but it's very limiting to use. So I don't have too much experience with that. I've had my Apple products for years, so I've always used iMovies, but Movie Maker is free. And if you're getting started, you want to use what you have, so you may want to start with Movie Maker. Adobe Premiere, which is $9.99, yes, $9.99 a month, and it's an Adobe product. Honestly, if I was starting out all over again, I would have just started out using Adobe Premiere, because Adobe Premiere works alongside with all of the Adobe products. So you can use Premiere with Lightroom, Photoshop, After Effects, InDesign. You literally can create, there's movies, like legit movies, that are created in Adobe Premiere. But on the opposite side of this, while it is an amazing product, and while I'm somewhat familiar with it, I have a bad connection, so we'll catch the replay if I can. Mandy, have a great weekend. You too, Deb. I appreciate you letting me know. Have a fantastic weekend. If for some reason you don't catch this today, I do post my replays on my YouTube channel, so you can go up there. But I will miss seeing your face and your hearts. So have a great weekend, my dear. Adobe has some learning curves to it, which means it takes some getting used to. It's not some drop-and-cut program. I will say that if you do get started with it, and you do play with it, and maybe you read some online tutorials or watch some YouTube videos on it, your videos will be amazing. But your videos could also be amazing using iMovie and Movie Maker. It just depends on what you're filming. I love the effects of Adobe Premiere, but I'm not going to edit a 20-minute vlog on Adobe Premiere, because the only thing I need to do is just cut and paste or cut and delete on my vlogs. So if I was doing like a full-length movie or a lookbook or something that would take some more editing skills that I wanted to finesse, Adobe Premiere would be kind of the way I go. So those are my 3 picks for Windows users. For Mac users, iMovie comes standard on your MacBooks, your iMac, your iPads. My iPhone has iMovie. iMovie is probably one of the easiest programs I think to use. It is very, once you click around in it, it is very, very, very easy to use, and there are hundreds of thousands of tutorials online. Now, if you love iMovie, you may, and you start editing and you really like editing, you may want to look into, oh my gosh, what's it called? Final Cut Pro is what I'm trying to say. Because Final Cut Pro is very similar to, Final Cut Pro is like iMovies on steroids. It's like iMovie and Adobe got together and made a little movie maker baby, and you have Final Cut Pro. The cool thing about Final Cut Pro is you can buy basically like After Effects for it and download them into Final Cut Pro. So you could buy like really cool banners or really cool themes, things like that, and they're not, you know, overly expensive. If I started off using iMovie, so for me it was pretty straightforward to use. If you're getting started, again, use what you have, because that will allow you to see if you like it or not. Now, if you want to seriously get into like movies, commercials, stuff like that, I would empower you to look at Adobe Premiere or paying the $300, I think it is, for Final Cut Pro, because I think that you will be happier with those type of programs. You know, something else, playing devil's advocate here, if you're using a Windows computer, I haven't had luck, honestly, with a Windows computer and editing. I am such an Apple girl. So using iMovie, you can create a lot of great things on iMovie. And my Mac, I have an iMac and then I have a MacBook Pro. Those things, when I'm creating those videos, hey Leslie, thank you for the heart, sweetie. They just cruise right along. So when it comes to like investing in things for your channel, my biggest thing is get a computer that has the space. I don't care if you need to get a computer that has, you know, more hard drive, more memory space, or a better video card. I'm an advocate for Apple when it comes to this stuff, because as many movies as I do and as much video storage that's flying through my computer, they are friggin' champs, man. I actually killed Adele. When I first started, I did. I started messing around with movies and I killed it, and it died, and I was really sad because I did like that computer. But that's what prompted me to get my first MacBook. And then once I got my first MacBook, I became that girl. So honestly, you know, looking at equipment, even I think before you look at getting a DSLR, if you're struggling with your computer, look at a newer computer, because it makes your editing so much easier. Now, I gave you guys a video to watch from Daryl Eves. He is one of my favorite YouTube educators. He's a really cool guy, has a cool personality. He's just like a cool dude. But he did a video called Best Editing Software for YouTube. He knows his stuff. And I subscribe to his channel, and I would empower you guys to subscribe to his channel. But, because he gives some great tips. But he filmed a video called The Best Editing Software. And he goes down the list of software too. So if you want to get a second opinion, which I totally recommend, watch his video. I have it linked on my blog. Now, do we have any more questions about software or anything like that before I get on to editing and things like that? I'm like waking up now. Seriously, you guys, I was sleeping so good. I'm still in my pajamas. This is actually a pajama shirt. No questions? Okay. I'm going to... Yeah, Leslie, you missed it because you had come in a little bit late. I was sleeping really good and didn't hear my alarm to wake me up to prompt me to do this. So I woke up and basically levitated into my craft room. When it comes to editing your movies, this is my opinion. And this is, does anyone use their iPad for editing? Yes, there's actually a gentleman. His name is Patrick. I don't know if he's on here or not. I haven't seen him yet. He does like woodworking videos, and he uses his iPad to edit. Here's my opinion about using your iPad to edit on iMovies. iMovies, you have to be able to start and stop your clip to delete. And I don't know if that's something I could personally do on an iPad because, you know, you'd be using your fingers to do it versus an actual mouse. I know people do it. The thing also I'd recommend is look at the memory that your iPad has. Because if you are editing a 10-minute long makeup tutorial, that's going to eat up space on your iPad real quick, girl. So that would be my thing. If you have one of the 128 gig iPads, you know, you'd be okay. I can edit full movies on my iPhone, honestly, if I wanted to. But for ease of use, I think using it on a computer is easier. But I don't think Apple would put iMovie on something that you couldn't use. So I just think it would take some playing with, and if you have a Windows computer or an iPad that has iMovie, I would highly, highly, highly recommend you try editing that video on your iPad because iMovies is so easy to use. So did I answer your question? Any more questions about actual products or use of products, I guess is what I'm trying to say? Yeah, okay, good. When it comes to editing your software, here are some of my tips. I film a lot of clips when I'm filming tutorials and DIY projects, and I bring those all together into my movie. By doing that, I have a lot of clips that I'm importing and exporting. And using iMovie and using, well, Final Cut Pro organizes your clips really well. iMovie really doesn't. But using iMovie, I have to make sure I know where my clips are or I'll forget to use them. So what I do is I actually create, and I didn't have time to finish this today because I'm going to lay down and take a 15-minute nap, and 3 hours later I woke up. So this will probably be a free printable on my channel here in a couple days. But I have a shot list, and this is actually going to be part of my YouTube planner that I'm planning to release at the end of the month, where I list my shots that I've taken and that I need to edit and I need to put together. So I highly suggest that if you guys are doing like a 10-minute vlog or something, you know, you could be a little more leeway or forgiving, I guess I should say, with it. But if you're filming, you know, for example, Leslie, you did your classroom tour yesterday. Okay, you're not going to have 15 shots for that. I mean, you're basically doing a tour, so the only thing you need to do is just edit that clip down. So in this case, it wouldn't really pertain to your clip. But make sure you know where your clips are, because the worst feeling in the world is thinking you imported a damn clip and then it did not import into iMovie and then you lose your clip. Oh, I've had that happen like 2 or 3 times when I got my new camera because I thought I had it in there. No, not in there. So I had to reshoot. So make sure you keep track of your clips. Things that are very important when editing your YouTube videos. This is very subjective onto your channel. I know a lot of people who make beautiful videos, and they put a lot of time in these videos. Lydia Lane is actually one of them. And she puts a lot of effort into her videos. And then she also, when she produces them, they are like spot on. They're awesome. So you can, in your videos, spend the time to do that. Or you can choose to edit less. That is totally up to you. But it depends on the style of your channel. If you're going to create one amazing video, and then 5 kind of like vlog style stuff like that. As long as your audience knows what you're producing, I think that's fine. But if you produce one amazing video once a week and your subscribers know this, that's fine. If you produce, like for me, my vlogs are very roughly edited. They are basically cut and delete edited, which means I don't like do a lot with like notations and stuff like this. I basically just cut the clips. Now, when I'm editing a vlog, I have 3 steps that I do every single time. I have my intro and outro, the same music that I use, and I use the page turn transition. Transitions are very important in your videos when you're transitioning from one subject to another. If you are editing down a 20-minute long, I'm just going to say makeup review, to a 5-minute video, and you have 45 transitions, you're not going to want to use a page turn for every single one of those edits. You're going to want to use what's called a clean edit, which means you have a starting point and a stopping point. Again, this goes with your editing style, because if people are subscribing to you, they're subscribing because they like your channel and they like what you're producing. Candy Johnson uses a very abrupt start and a very abrupt end in her videos. And while I think that that's fine for her style, that's something that's not my style. I like having where you know I finished a sentence, if that makes sense. There's a lot of people who they think it's kind of humorous, which I think it's kind of funny too. But you just have to be consistent in your style, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And as you're editing, you will find your style. There's a lot of YouTubers that will use transitions in abundance. And I think that that's okay, as long as it's not taking away from your video. I think sound effects are okay, as long as they're not taking away from your video. Music is something that when you're editing, you have to be careful of, because volume of music is not always the same as your volume of your voice, which means your voice could be way down here when you're filming a video. Oops, I didn't even show it. Way down here when you're filming a video or editing a video, but your music is way up here. Pro tip, I always turn my music way down. Always. Because I would rather have someone go, oh crud, I can't hear the music, and then turn it up, rather than, listening to me talk about, my Alta water, and then I go to music and it's just blaring and their hair goes back. That's something that can be avoidable. Sometimes editing mistakes will happen. You'll do a rough cut or something. Don't beat yourself up over it, because you are human. But watch your videos while you're editing them to make sure it's smooth. Do not ever, and I've guilty of this, it's embarrassing just to admit, I've edited videos and not rewatched them before. And then I watch the video like 2 days later, and it's crappy video. But because I didn't take the time to rewatch it. Rewatch your video once or twice to catch those little editing mishaps. Maybe I'll turn it off if music overpowers. I'm the same way, because I don't watch a YouTube video to listen to music. If I want to listen to music, I'll turn on, iMusic or iTunes if I want. I think music does set a tone for your video. I think it has its purposes. Like if I'm filming a 5-minute eyeshadow tutorial and I'm not going to talk through the whole thing, yeah, maybe I'll have like a little background music. But again, tip, make your music way lower than you think you need it. When I do my vlog, you guys have seen my vlogs, the first 7 seconds is one of iMovie's songs. I turn that down to 35%. 35%. Because I would rather you guys, if you like the song, turn it up than it just blaring. Because here's what happens. You have your music set really high, and then your voice comes in, and your voice is at a different level. So you're having that juxtaposition in your video right away. Where a juxtaposition in a video that goes up, or an increase in sound, is okay. You don't want to be doing this through your whole video. People will get annoyed with that. Another editing tip, in my opinion, is when you're using transitions and you're cutting down clips, I always go through my video first and just do rough edits. So I filmed a video today on how I edit picture-in-picture videos on iMovie, which picture-in-picture videos are the videos, like if you go to my channel to rewatch this replay, it'll show like the iPhone picture and then the video will actually be in the iPhone. I'll show you guys how to do that in my vlog, or on my channel today. That video was, actually really fun to create. Way more fun than I thought it was going to be. I was super nervous about doing this video. But I had a lot of edits in it because I recorded my screen from start to finish. So technically it was a 2-hour video that I trimmed it down to like 16 minutes, I think. Excuse me. Like 16 minutes. So there was quite a bit of editing involved. Don't be afraid to do a voiceover if you need to, because sometimes when we're recording a video, we'll forget to say something, or we'll forget to do something. Now, this is where my YouTube planner is going to come and help you guys at the end of the month, but don't be afraid to, like if you're doing a tutorial and, let's see here, your tutorial idea, you're doing wall art. And let's say you forgot to tell the people that it's best if you're using glitter paper to hairspray it first, because it helps without the glitter fallout. Say you forgot to say that. So what you can do is you can do one of two things. You can reshoot the clip, or you can take a picture of the glitter paper with a hairspray can and add in a quick voiceover. But here's where the editing magic happens. Match your vocal volume to the other volume. So you're not having this weird increase and decrease in volume level. I don't mind when people throw in a voiceover because I think it's okay. Again, we're all human. And it's not a mistake. It's not anything. It's just, you know what? We forgot to shoot the damn clip. Okay, well, this is what we did. At least you included that clip. So don't be afraid to, when you're doing your rough edits, add to it, delete it. I normally, when I film a video, and it's most of my videos, I would say, tutorials and reviews are between 15 to 20 minutes, and then I edit that way down. I would rather have too much content in my videos than I need to edit it down than not have enough. So I'm very thorough in my reviews because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys all the information. And I also sometimes, another pro tip, sometimes when I'm filming, I'll say things twice or one way and then say it again a different way, because depending on the flow of the video, one way may come out a little better. I do this a lot with makeup reviews because you guys know I'm a diehard MAC girl. So I compare a lot of other makeup to MAC makeup because that gives me a reference point. Now, sometimes I'll say, you know, if I'm talking about a foundation, I will talk about it as on a MAC side, and then I'll be like, well, you know, it's also very comparable to a Revlon Color Stay. So I'll throw that in there, and then as I'm editing the video, I can use it or I can delete it. But it just gives me a little bit more content, so that's another pro tip. Do you guys have any more editing questions? Anything like that when it comes to, I know quite a bit about iMovie, so feel free to ask me iMovie questions. When it comes to the other ones, I can try to help you out the best that I can, but I'm an iMovie and Final Cut Pro girl, but I'll try to help you guys out the best that I can. Okay, no questions. So, what I asked you guys to do today was to edit your first video, and I asked you to upload it to private. The reason why I asked you guys to do that is, one, because uploading can take forever depending on your computer. Another pro tip. If you're having issues uploading to YouTube, you may need to check with your internet provider. You may need to increase your internet or upload overnight. I upload all my videos overnight because I have no patience, and I can start it when I go to bed, and then when I wake up in the morning, it's ready to go, and I just have to add my stuff. That's, another one of my tips. But if you're going to be doing a lot of YouTube, increase your internet, because you will see a difference, especially in uploading something else. Your computer makes a big difference. I can upload a 20-minute video, uploaded, tags, everything in about 15 minutes using my iMac, 15-20 minutes. That same video would take like 40 minutes using my MacBook, just a faster computer. So it does, in my opinion, really make a difference. Tomorrow we will talk about your title and your tags and your thumbnail. The reason why I chose to keep this separate from the editing was I figured that you guys, if you're using your editing software for the first time, you didn't want to spend all day working on a video. So tomorrow we will we'll talk about the titles and stuff like that, and I'll give you guys some suggestions and things. So do we have any more editing questions or anything like that? Just gonna check Twitter and make sure no other questions came in. I think I'm gonna go take my dogs. Oh, nope, it's getting into the rain. So I'll be taking my dogs for a walk now. I feel kind of bad because I took such a long nap. Okay, I actually don't have a giveaway today. I don't, because I took such a long nap. So I promise that we'll do a cool giveaway tomorrow. And do we have any more questions about editing, comments? What do you guys use to edit? Like, what are some of your favorite programs? Or what are you currently using, I guess? Is it easy? Is it hard? When you were editing your first video, did you find it easy or was it overwhelming? Okay, I don't have anything yet. Okay. You don't have any programs yet that you edit with? You haven't, is that what you mean? No, okay. I've just used the YouTube one so far. Oh, Jess, thank you for reminding me of that, sweetheart. YouTube has its own YouTube editing software. I can't believe I forgot that. YouTube Creator, I think is what it's called, right? Or YouTube Editor. Jess, is it easy to use? Or do you just basically do like the capture and then post them? I have like one crazy ass eyebrow today. Holy moly. Yeah, I believe it's pretty easy. Okay, that actually gives me faith to actually tell people that it's pretty easy because, you know, everyone's different and everyone... I remember when I used iMovie for the first time, I stressed myself out, but mine are pretty basic so far. I need to actually go out and check out your channel. You know, like I said, use what you have. Leslie, you may want to get with Jess and look at the YouTube editor in case you wanted to do it, because I know you want to do a bunch of videos and stuff like that. So you also may want to look at, depending on what you want to spend, that Wondershare, because I think that would actually be a really good program. But you don't need to buy a program to edit. You could even use Movie Maker. Just use what you feel comfortable with, because if you feel comfortable with a software, you'll actually use it and you'll want to use it. I use Movie Maker, but it corrupts regularly. Really? That's good to know. That's really good to know, actually. In that case, you may also want to look at some of these outside programs. And personally, looking at video editing software, if Wondershare is as amazing as what everyone says it is, I do not think $40 for the software is bad, because I paid $400 for Final Cut Pro, and I also pay $9.99 a month. Well, I take that back. I actually pay $50 a month, and I have access to all of the Adobe programs, so, which is not a bad deal. You guys, I'm not being sales pitchy here or anything like that. I'm just telling you what works for me, because it may be worth the investment for you. I pay $50 a month for Photoshop, Lightroom, After Effects, InDesign, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, every Adobe product they have, I get for $50 a month. Now, that is $600 a year, but as much as I use that stuff, I get all the updates, so my software is always up to date, which, I could spend $1,200 on a software, and then next year Adobe says, well, we're coming out with Photoshop, 2090. I'm always have my software up to date. I edit most of my photos in Photoshop. I create a lot of my printables and stuff like that in InDesign. Illustrator, you can use a lot for vector images. To me, it's totally worth it. $9 a month or $10 a month to get started out with Adobe Premiere. Personally, that'd be $120 a year. I don't think that that is a bad deal because of the software that you're getting. But here's the thing. If you've never used editing software before, you're going to open Adobe Premiere and then you're going to close it. You're going to be like, forget that. So just make sure you take the time to actually learn how to use the software. You know, another great resource we have when it comes to video editing, Google. If you ever have a question, 9 times out of 10, someone did a blog post, they tweeted about it, the company has messages, or there's probably a YouTube video. I've learned basically everything I need to know about life from YouTube. So that's the truth too. But if we don't have any more questions, I will let you guys go so you guys can enjoy your Sunday. Again, tomorrow we'll be talking about, thank you for the hearts, we'll be talking about titles, tags, thumbnails, and basically finishing up editing. What are we talking about after that? Oh, and then on the 10th, we'll be doing the thumbnail and publishing. So this is kind of the last of it that's going a little slow when we're uploading because, again, I didn't want to stress you guys out. Thank you for the hearts. I didn't want to stress you guys out with throwing too much at you when it comes to editing your videos because that is something that's scary enough. Now, after we get through posting our first video, we're basically going into a little bit more nitty-gritty of YouTube, which I'm excited about it because I like the information, but I want you guys to, I only prompted you guys to shoot 3 videos this month. And I had a question about this. You can shoot more videos if you want. Leslie has shot, gosh, like 6 or 7 videos. So you guys can do as many videos as you want. The only thing I'm doing is just prompting you with tips on how to make them more searchable, how to do titles, you know, things like that. I'm just trying to be helpful. So don't feel like you're confined into the box that is Mandy Jean Chic in the 31 days of YouTube, because you're not. Thank you for the hearts. I want you guys to have fun with this. I'm just giving you guys my tips. Now, here's another suggestion, and I actually got a question on this. If I tell you something that you have found very helpful, you can go back and change some of the settings on your other videos. You go to the YouTube creator, which if you go to YouTube, it is in the right hand corner of your screen, right under your picture, it'll say Creator Studio. And if you click on that, it'll take you into the Creator Studio where you can, come on computer. I am the grumpiest person when I wake up from naps, like a bear. But I have no patience. But you can go in and say, you know, I give you some great tips on, you know, thumbnails. You want to create all your thumbnails. You can go in and you can change all those. You can go in and you can change some of your settings. You can, you know, monetize your videos, things like that. So again, if I give you a good tip or something and you really want to use it, feel free. Go in. You can change your videos because this is the awesome thing about YouTube. Your videos, people can watch them forever. And who knows what movie quote that was from? One of my favorite movies ever. Forever. It's a baseball movie. Kids are in it. From the 90s, I think. You guys know it? Wish I had Jeopardy music. Sandlot! I knew you'd know it, Leslie. This is like one of my favorite movies ever. Sandlot 2, not as good. But I say that all the time. And people are like, are you quoting Sandlot? And I was like, yeah, I'm fluent in Anchorman, Sandlot, Super Troopers. but like I was saying, you know, if you guys, you can edit, you can go in and change your video settings and stuff like that. So your videos are on YouTube. The only thing you're doing by taking the time to go in and implementing some of these tips are making your videos more searchable. Which if your videos are more searchable, more people are going to watch your videos, and you still can make money on your videos that you've posted years ago. It just, you know, it depends on just increasing that SEO, if we want to get all technical. So what are some of your guys' favorite movies that you guys quote? Just out of curiosity now. I don't seem like a dork. Can you go back and edit videos you've already posted? Yes, but here's what you have to do. You have to literally go back and edit them and then repost them. Using YouTube Creator, I don't know if you can do that or not. Jess, I can research that and let you know. I don't think you can. I think you would have to physically go back. Indiana Jones. I love Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones. How many of you guys watched my editing video today? If you didn't, Mean Girls, Forrest Gump. Oh, I love Forrest Gump. Finding Nemo, a lot more Disney. I love Disney movies. Up, one of my favorite movies ever. I always, what were we doing? We were playing like that 90s game or something, and the TV show Doug came up, and I knew what it was, and I said to Brett, I was like, this is the movie, or this TV show Doug. And then I started quoting Up. I was like, my name is Doug. I love you. Will you be my master? Will you be my slave? I love the movie Up. But in my editing video today, I left it in because it was funny, and it's so me. But I was on Facebook, and I saw Brock O'Hearn. I do a lot of Friends. Oh, I quote Friends all the time. I was actually just watching Friends. That's what I fell asleep to. But for you guys, for you ladies who have not seen Brock O'Hearn, I think's his name. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm married, so you know, Seinfeld, love Seinfeld. So, I mean, I don't, like, look at men all the time unless they're hot Australian strippers. But are all the men like that in Australia, Shirley? I'm just curious, because if they are, I may need to move to Australia. But when I was editing my video, I was on Facebook, right? And he posted some pictures, and I literally, like, I forgot I was recording my screen, you guys. So I stopped, and I liked, no. I stopped, and I, like, liked all of his pictures that were on the screen. And when I was editing my video, I forgot it was in there. And I seen it, and I was like, oh, dang. So I almost took it out, and I'm like, no, I have to leave this in, because all the people who watch my videos would expect for me to do this. So that's kind of why I left it in, but I just thought it was really funny. But yeah, girls, seriously, check out Brock O'Hearn. He has, like, long hair, and he does man buns, and it's the greatest thing. I was laughing so hard. And it's the greatest thing you'd ever want to see in your life. He has this video where he, like, does man buns for, like, 3 minutes. And it is the greatest 3 minutes of your life. I can't even kid about this kind of stuff, you guys, because I know the people who are still on this call or on the scope are like, he did make me forget I was doing, because he's so pretty. Like, he's 6'7". Oh my gosh, like, because if I ever, let's just say I ever got married again, like an idiot. Like, I have, like, a list of qualities that would be in my next pairing. And being married, you know, for some time, I can joke around about this, because my husband is very comfortable with himself, and we're very comfortable in our marriage. But, you know, we joke around about, because I make no buts about it, that, like, The Rock is, like, my dream man. I love The Rock. But I like men who are tall, who are really built, things like that. Brett, for you guys who don't know, he's 6'5", 6'6". He's a big dude. So when I saw this guy Brock, my friend Michaela posted this picture on Facebook, and she tagged me in it, because she's like, you're going to love this guy. And I'm like, it's kind of weird, but whatever. So I looked at it, and for 3 minutes, he just did a man bun. And I was at work, and I watched that thing like 5 times. So then I shared it on Facebook, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. But, like, him creating this man bun is like the sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life. If he was wearing a cop uniform, I'd have been dead. Totally dead. Gone. But, so that's my pro tip for the day. Whenever you're sad, look at Brock O'Hearn. He'll make everything better. So, but I'll let you guys go, because this conversation will go downhill really fast if I keep talking about Brock O'Hearn and hot Australian strippers and cops. So, Jason Momoa. Oh, I'm going to write that down, because I need some good screensavers for a rainy day. All of my friends, when they are on, like, Instagram or something like that, and they see, like, good-looking cops, they always take the screenshots and they send them to me. And I'm like, thank you for that, but makes me feel so bad sometimes, right? But you guys have a great evening. Let me know what you guys think of Brock. Make sure you look him up, because he'll put you in a good mood, too. So I will see you guys later. Bye!